Hey, welcome to the Tavern. Come explore the iconic adventuring system, a Revolution RPG by Alea Publishing Group. First, before we delve into a sample of gameplay, let me explain what a deck building system is for those that are new to the concept.
In a typical deck building game, each turn you draw a set number of cards, then play one or more cards from hand to accomplish a series of actions, which usually consists of gaining more cards to improve your deck. At the end of turn, discard your cards into your discard pile. Whenever you need to draw cards from your deck and there are no cards left, simply reshuffle your discard pile to form a new character deck and draw the remaining cards. Dominion is a splendid example of a deck building game. The iconic system is similar with a few differences. You have a character deck unique to you that only you draw from. A character deck serves as your potential to overcome foes and obstacles during an adventure. Think of it as an extension of your character sheet. The discard pile of your character deck is called the fatigue pile. All players begin with a starting basic deck developed during character creation. You customize your character deck as you adventure and complete quests.
Now on to the heart of the system.
In a typical role-playing game, you announce an action, then roll a die, add modifiers, then compare the result to a difficulty number to determine success. While we have the same basic approach in Iconic, our system tends to lead to more narrative play. First, instead of one action, you have a series of actions called a task. The task should have a simple goal such as I attack the dragon. Instead of rolling one or more dice, you draw cards from your character deck until your hand size is equal to your aptitude score appropriate for a task. In this case, my fitness score is 6, therefore I draw cards until I reach my hand limit of 6. The Game Master reveals one or more fate cards, depending on the difficulty. Each fate card has one or more icons. To succeed, I must match all icons with cards from my hand. Now the epic battle begins. For each card played, narrate your actions. As the fierce dragon skims across the ground, its sweeping wings nearly knocks me prone, but I duck and roll beneath the beast. I drag my blade across its belly, searching for a weakness. I discard an insight to expertise, allowing me to draw an extra card. I then plunge my great sword upwards and penetrate a newly regrown scale. I have an extra strength card. I will discard this to edge and gain momentum for the group.
Momentum is a group resource that increases damage against shared opponents or threats.
I lack the last agility card to succeed, therefore I begin to recount my epic failure. With my sword wedged in its gut, I cannot evade its rear claw before I pull my blade free. It plucks me from beneath and begins to soar. I manage to loosen its grasp and fall before it reaches a greater height. Since failing to match the last agility icon, the character suffers damage equal to the dragon's agility score, which is 11. And 11 is greater than the modified health score of the character, therefore the player gains a wound card, adding it to the fatigue pile. However, since the character wears Gambison, which protects against bludgeoning damage, the player discards a feat card to gain a stress card instead of a wound card. If an 11 was less than the modified health score, the character would lose 11 fatigue, discarding 11 cards from the top of the character deck into the fatigue pile. This number is offset by the armor rank of the character. Therefore, if the character wore Budded Mail, which has an armor rank of 6, then the fatigue loss becomes 5. However, if fatigue causes a player to reshuffle the character deck, then he or she will still get a wound card.
Game Masters and fellow players should help and suggest obstacles and hindrances to create a new, memorable role-playing experience, especially if the icons seem inappropriate for the task at hand.
With the previous example, what if it was a willpower icon instead of agility? Well, then the character pulled his great sword free instead of avoiding the claw, then thick, hot gloop pours from the wound, choking the character. What about a charm icon? Does the dragon have parasitic creatures living on or flying near that can attack, the fantasy equivalent to lampreys on sharks? Or does an errant arrow from an ally strike the character instead of the beast? Whatever the narrative outcome, the damage is based on the goal of the task, in this case the dragon. Therefore, damage is equal to the unmatched attribute score of the dragon, thus willpower or charm.
Those are the basics. Hopefully this video can show you the potential of the iconic adventuring system and how it can add to your game experience. Next time we'll talk about skills and feats. Thanks for watching and happy gaming.